Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the, what is this? Adobe Live. This is a good start. I'm used to doing the daily creative challenges, but it's not that. You actually just watched the daily creative challenge, which Andrea Hawk. And speaking of daily creative challenges, I am joined by somebody who has participated in a lot of them. Jack Watson. How are you?
Everyone. I'm good.
Nice.
I know some of you from the daily creative challenges and from the Discord. I'm Jack.
So we'll get into your intro in just a second. Before we do that, let's say hi to everyone. So we've got Sam and Arielja. I always mispronounce your name. I apologize. Noelle and Pat, who you know Pat, right?
Yeah, Pat is my boss. All my coworkers from Cleveland are tuning in to say hi.
Nice. We got Tim, we've got Jason and Cornelian. I love that name. It's a great name.
I've seen him in the chat before.
Yeah. Many of you are probably familiar with Jack from Discord or Behance. So it's really exciting to be sitting beside you and hosting you. Because I've been watching your challenge entries come in over the last few weeks, few months. They're super cool, super creative.
Thank you.
So this is gonna be a fun stream. And if you like donuts, and who doesn't, if you don't like donuts, just leave, please leave. But yeah, you're gonna be designing, we'll get into that in a minute, but some cool donut stuff. Okay. Just to start things off, in about half an hour, we've got Chat and Win. So you can win 100 stickers from Sticker Mule. You can design donut stickers possibly.
Yeah. If you do make a donut sticker, please send it to me.
Yeah.
I'll put it right here.
Yes. Oh, you don't have any stickers?
No, I don't.
I just have one giant one, but I could put a donut in like this little guy's. That'd be cool. And then about half an hour before the stream ends, we're gonna be taking a look at some of those challenge entries. Today's challenge, it's gonna be pretty cool. Andrea does some crazy challenges, but today's challenge in specific is responsive resize, and it's to design a mobile and web experience for finding and booking concert tickets. And even though that challenge just ended, if we don't have very many that come in for this one, we're gonna take a look at some past ones. And this one here in particular, the futuristic teleportation app, I know you were working on that a few days ago. Andrea's just crazy creative. So definitely go back and watch some of her challenges and just have some fun with it, because she does some really cool stuff. So with all that out of the way, I'm gonna turn it over to you to introduce yourself, and if anyone has questions throughout this process for Jack, throw them in the chat.
Let me know.
It's all yours.
I made a little presentation about myself in XD here.
Nice.
So I'm gonna go through this pretty later before I started doing design work, although it's always been kind of a part of my process. I've been a designer for only 3 months, so I'm pretty new to all of this, but
that's pretty impressive though. If any of you, go check out Jack's
alongside my art courses when I was in college. So my thesis was actually it was a game about genetics. And so I've always kind of leaned more towards like the design and less of the illustration world, but So today I kind of wanted to present like how I want this to go for you guys. My goals for you guys. I want to show you guys what design is like from the perspective of an illustrator or an animator. I'm coming at this without any real professional or like any real training. Like I didn't go to school to become a designer. I went to school to become an illustrator. So and I also wanted to show you that like even if you don't have any experience or your experience is in a totally different field, like you can still be a designer. You can like take that experience and like pick up XD and do like really cool stuff right away. Like
and the daily challenges really prove that, because we've seen people that are doctors, plumbers, basically any profession possible. We've seen people, it's so cool because XD is completely free. You can just dive in there, download it, have some fun with it, and design some really cool stuff. And Andrea's in the chat. Watch her challenges, watch the challenges before that, and really just, dive in and have fun.
Absolutely, and the creative challenges really give you a chance to like, my real goal today is I love donuts, so that's really what we're all about. But the challenges are a really good chance to do things that are like totally off the wall, or like, even stuff that like you may not have an opportunity to do something that crazy in like, client work, but like just go crazy. Just go crazy with it.
Someone needs to make a shirt that just says something like, I designed to eat donuts, or to buy donuts or something.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we'll do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So about what we're making today. It's gonna be a custom donut ordering app. I don't have a name yet. That's up to you guys. So what is our problem? Because we're always trying to solve a problem. Donut buying is unnecessarily stressful. Like, trust me, guys. You have to get up really early, and I don't know about you, but I don't like getting up really early, right? And you don't know, like, if they're gonna sell out your favorite donut. Like, maybe they don't even have it that day, right? So my users are young families with busy schedules. The age varies. Families with picky eaters, like maybe, you know, you have someone who doesn't like a certain type of donut, and that's all they've got left. Or maybe you have, like, food allergies. So, and then people who are foodies and love donuts, basically me. So
what's the craziest donut you've ever eaten?
Oh, gosh. Well, I mean, the maple bacon, obviously. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, I can't think of, like, the craziest donut I've ever eaten. I'll have to think about that. I'll get back to you tomorrow. Let me think about that. So our solution is to make an app for customizing donut orders. You can choose from pre-made donuts for that day with an inventory that updates as they sell. So it'll tell you what's available and if something's sold out. Or you can create a totally custom order. You can choose what type of donut you want to make, filled or unfilled, cake or yeast raised. Pick the number of donuts, pick your toppings and fillings, sprinkles obviously. So our minimum viable product is going to be the custom donut creator. That's what we're going to focus on because I really want to get to some prototyping because I think that this one has a lot of opportunities for some fun animation.
Yep.
So that's my intro.
Nice.
And over here I wanted to show you my process for, like, before we get into wireframing, where I start and before I get into wireframing. So these are my initial sketches. They're terrible and I'm sorry. When I start, these are mostly for me. This is just like me trying to get my thoughts about what I want the app to do and, like, organize the content, and, like, it's mostly a lot of notes and probably not very coherent, but I wanted to show you, like, hey, this is where I start. I'm an illustrator and my sketches aren't always pretty. So yeah.
Do you typically sketch before you dive into any sort of design application?
Yeah, in some way I do like to start on paper just because I feel like it's more immediate. Like, I can just reach for it and start right away.
Yeah.
Coming from a production art background, I often do my sketching in Illustrator, like with my Cintiq, which I have with me, but I don't know that we're gonna get to any of that.
And I love seeing this because, you know, sometimes we've had guests on here with these beautiful sketches that look like they can be in museums.
Yeah.
But no one really sketches like that,
I wanted to be real with you guys. Like, this is real. This is where
my
it
sketches
begins.
look like this. You can't read them half the time. It looks like a doctor wrote them. It's a bunch of circles that don't make sense to anyone but you. This is what a sketch looks like. And as long as you can understand it and translate it to a design, it's all that matters, right?
Right, like this is where we begin. This is where everybody begins. This is the napkin sketch. This is the beginning. So from there, I start to make my user journey. Like, okay, where are we gonna start, and, like, what are we focusing on, which is this custom donut maker.
Yep.
And so I wanted to plan out, like, okay, we have a home screen. What's on the home screen? Different types of menu items, and then you would pick, in this case, donuts, and it would take you to, like, a carousel with filters that show, like, you could pick cake, raised, yeast, filled, or a custom donut, and you'd be able to like filter by those. You could select cake, and it would give you just cake donuts, select raised, etc. And then if you picked on custom, you would select the type of donut base you want to start with, and then once you pick that, you'll get your topping options that slide in, or filling if you're going to do a filled donut, and you go from there. And
this is very in-depth.
Thank you.
I've never seen a donut service that offers something like this.
No, well, that's why we're making it, because it's missing from the world.
Once you create this, you have to take it to, like, Shark Tank.
Oh yeah.
And just pitch it to them.
Yes. Or just, like, donut shops.
Kickstarter or something.
Yeah. So then from there, this is where I start to make the cleaner sketches for all of the screens that I want to show for the minimum viable product.
Yep.
So this is my home screen, and I've done, like, a mobile version. We're gonna show mobile and tablet, 2 screens for each of these. This is my home screen. This is the donut filter system. After you click on donut, this gives you, like, cake, yeast, raised, etc. And then here, if you click on a specific donut in the cake donut, so like chocolate cake donut, it would pull up this detail view, which would tell you like a little description. Like, so here we're gonna just show the name, the price, how many are left, and like the ability to add them to your cart, or your box, I should say. And then here we give you a little description as well. So, and then I wanted to have a little like sold out banner like appear right over these, so you know immediately that you're if the donut you want is sold out.
Yeah, because that's definitely a problem. You touched on that earlier, is you don't really know until you walk in the shop what donuts are available.
You don't know.
I wonder how logistically that would be handled.
It would be tough.
It would be difficult, but I'm sure some new technology like...
Right, like it would have to be from like the point of sale system.
Yeah.
They're like cash.
Yeah,
cash
or if the
register,
tray for a specific donut was weighted.
Oh yeah, that
they
would be
know.
awesome. Yeah.
Interesting.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
So, then if you choose the custom donut creator, it's gonna pull up the 3 different bases you can start with. Let's say you pick a cake donut, it's gonna the options for cake donut are gonna slide in. So your sprinkles, glaze, frosting. If you want premium toppings like cookies or like cereal.
Can we put gummy bears on them?
Sure, we can do that. Absolutely, why not? And then, so the process for actually ordering the donuts, I have this little donut box idea. So when you're ready to order your donuts, you click to add them to your cart, or in this case, the box. And this little box that you can see in here slides up. The donut goes in there. You can edit your box to add or remove donuts, or you can hit surprise me. It'll just give you a random assortment of donuts if you don't, Again, all about saving people time.
Yep. So, Jason's saying you should offer drone deliveries.
Oh, that would be that would be amazing. Just like I could see this little like drone with like little like strings hanging with this box.
Yeah, and it has to be a donut shaped drone.
Yeah, like that would be perfect. You would know your donuts were coming.
Yeah.
Again, get on that. We gotta get on that.
Dronut.
Yeah, so I made this little mood board that has a bunch of fonts that I really like and I think are appropriate for donuts. And some colors and some fonts that I started to put together that I kind of like, but it's up to you guys what you think. What do you guys like from these fonts? Like, what makes you think of donuts? What color palettes do you think would work for this kind of app? Some
of these are pretty creative. Where did you grab these from? Adobe fonts?
Yeah, these are all Adobe fonts, all of these. And then for colors, I look at like references and I look at what feels like a donut to me. That's how I don't have any other advice for you on that. I just try to feel what I feel.
Because a donut could be different for everybody. Some people like the traditional, the Simpsons donut.
Yeah.
The brown beige with the pink.
Yeah.
Some people like blue donuts. Some people just like, I don't know, what other donuts are there?
Well, there's the cereal top ones. Those are always fun.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are savory donuts as well now. So you can get like everything bagel donut I've seen.
They also have those, I don't know if they still sell them, but it was like a limited time thing where it's a gold donut. It's wrapped in that gold.
Like gold leaf or whatever?
Yeah, it was $1,000. I saw it on some video.
Very cool. So I'm going to start just wireframing here. And we're going to start with like up here. We're on the iPhone 10.
Sour cream donuts.
Yeah, what? You don't know what a sour cream donut is? That's my favorite donut.
Really?
Yeah,
they're amazing. Filled with sour cream?
No.
Okay,
they're like they add it. So they take like a traditional cake donut and they add the sour cream to the mix, and it just makes it like it's kind of like if you ever had one of those like sour cream cakes before, like those like a cake with like Greek yogurt in it or whatever, instead of like regular milk or something. It just makes it like I don't know, it's just better. It's almost like, I don't know, I would describe it like you would say it's weird to add cream cheese to a cake, but like we eat cheesecake.
That's true. As long as I don't bite into the donut and sour cream like spills out.
No, you don't have to worry about that. It's kind of just like a regular cake donut. It's in like a ring shape.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no filling. So I'm just starting to sort of lay out how I think I want this to work. I'm starting with the mobile, and I'm starting with the custom donut screen because I really want to get through that. So we'll say maybe like custom cake. So we start with cake donut here.
And these wireframes are meant to be very basic, just like quick and dirty, just to kind of get the elements on the page, right?
Yeah, yeah. So we just want to start figuring out like, you know, what we need to put on here. So we need to obviously have the donut here. We're gonna start with like the carousel like base donuts you can pick from. So these on either side would be like the filled or the yeast donuts over here. And so like if you imagine like swiping left or right, you'd get those options instead. And this would be your checkout. So I'll put like, I want the price to update as you add stuff over here. So yeah.
Bianca's saying, be careful to associate green color with food brands. Are there any colors that you try to avoid as you're designing certain projects?
I mean, for this one, I specifically wanted to go with like the warmer colors, but also like bright colors because we wanted this to be like fun, and also one of my target audiences are like families and kids. So I think you can you can make the green work as an accent color, especially for like the design elements in your app. If you want like, you know, confirm would be like typically like a green.
Right.
So
probably as long as it's not the
your donut
primary.
isn't green.
But that would be not good. You know, that kind of reminds me, are you familiar with Wingstop?
Yeah, like the hot wing place.
Yeah, so their wings are great, but their brand is green, which is very strange. I look at the banner and it just doesn't scream wings to me. I don't know what it is about that. It just doesn't scream wings. I don't know if you feel the same way.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if I would have picked that color for a hot wing place. I would have probably gone with like red.
Yeah,
like
red's
a
always
spicy
good.
color.
Makes you hungry.
I mean, we're probably gonna get hungry today.
I bet, yeah. It's a good thing I ate before this because I'm gonna be staring at these donuts all stream.
So yeah, I'm making like a little donut box here. If you imagine that this is like the when they close the donut lid, there's like a tab that they insert to keep it sealed. So I'm imagining that you would be able to click on that and pull this up at any point to edit your box, so to speak. And also this is where all your donuts will get added, so.
Hey Eric, welcome. And anyone else who's just joining, welcome. I'm here with Jack Watson, who is designing a really delicious looking, maybe not yet, but it will be delicious looking, a donut ordering and customizing app. And if anyone has questions throughout this process, throw them in the chat.
Yep. So got a little box down here.
Nice.
And then we can make. Oh, I should probably. Super important name. So we're gonna be doing a lot of animating, ideally. So I want to make sure that I keep everything named and pretty organized here.
That didn't take long. Someone's asking about dark mode for XD. Do you want dark mode?
No.
You don't?
No. Here,
Okay, let's talk about this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Let's talk about this. I'm more concerned about the function. I want more functionality in XD as opposed to, I guess, dark mode.
I like that answer. Okay, so that's basically my answer too. I want dark mode. I like dark mode. I use dark mode in Photoshop all the time and Illustrator all the time. And if I switch to light mode, it just blinds my face, right? And sometimes I do design at night, so I don't want a blinding application in my face. So I want dark mode.
Yes.
Do I need dark mode right now?
Exactly.
Probably not. So that's kind of the approach that we're taking right now, or at least the XD team is. Most people want dark mode, and if they don't personally want it, they want to be able to offer dark mode to the XD community. But it's probably not a huge priority right now over things like hover and states.
Yeah,
and
I really
co-editing
want that.
and what else have we confirmed is coming? Blend modes and other things that we probably haven't confirmed yet that are coming. Those definitely take priority. And then finally, dark mode is not as easy as you might think, especially when you're working with design systems and teams that handle the design systems and a whole lot of other conditions. So dark mode will come eventually, but we want to make sure that we add, like Jack said, functionality first into XD. And then, you know, we'll get to some dark stuff.
Yeah, I'm really excited about states and co-editing and all of that. Like, I want it so bad.
I know, me too. Peter just mentioned Hover. I was actually been playing with Hover all morning. It's coming. Hover and states are coming soon. So
excellent.
Be excited. Get hyped.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm just checking back here to see what I've got in. So I think this is pretty good for like the little carousel thing.
Yep.
I'm gonna name it really quickly here.
Peter also wants folders in the Creative Cloud. So currently you could have different libraries in the Creative Cloud. And I believe that the Creative Cloud experience within Adobe XD will be improving at some point in the future, possibly near future. But we definitely want to make it easier for you to work closely with other applications. I know, Jack, you work with Illustrator a lot with XD, so we want to make that process. We have been making the process easier, but I think also utilizing Creative Cloud and making that better will also help.
Yeah, absolutely.
Boop stickers. Yes, we need boop stickers.
I agree on that. Somebody should make them when they win the stickers.
Ooh, yes. Yeah,
actually,
Hover
I'm
states.
also going to add some of these to my components over here, my character styles.
Oh, Peter also mentioned version control. That is coming alongside co-editing this year. Very exciting.
So I'm just moving right along here. If anybody has any thoughts about fonts or anything like that, let me know.
So when you're mocking up these wireframes, very basic again, are you putting any specific thought into fonts now, or is that going to come later on?
I'm just using this. I'm not Hoshka rounded.
Don't you love when you use fonts you can't even pronounce?
I know. I knew. I should have like practiced beforehand.
Just use Comic Sans.
No. Sorry. Yeah, I usually just start with one font and add accents as I go along here. So I don't know. I don't really have a good process.
So what are these two screens that we're looking at?
So what we're looking at, I have here this is like the where you pick your base for your custom donut.
Okay.
So actually I should probably drag this down here because this is you're gonna be able to slide between these, this carousel here. But this screen here is gonna be, if you pick the cake donut, we're gonna get some toppings and things that appear down here.
Okay.
Like this, they're gonna slide in as a group. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm using hotkeys. You can't see what I'm doing. So yeah, we'll make just a bunch of different options here.
Hey Ahmed, welcome. First time watching. Nice.
So we're gonna say, I don't know. So we'll just start to list some. How about that? Sprinkles.
Sprinkles are always good. I feel like that's probably the default topping for a donut.
Let's go with glaze.
And anyone in the chat, if you have suggestions for toppings for your donuts, definitely throw them in there.
We're gonna go with some.
We have to get some sort of like
toppings.
Yeah, we have to get some sort of pumpkin spice theme going on here, because it is that season. Are you into pumpkin spice?
I'm more into apple cider, like cider donuts.
Okay.
You know.
Corey says cheese.
Cheese? Don't know. Although we were talking about savory donuts, so maybe.
I'm sure somebody likes cheese donuts. Maybe it's Corey. Maybe he's the only one.
Maybe. All right.
Bacon?
I guess. Yeah, bacon.
Oh, two people
sure.
said bacon. Okay.
Don't worry. we will have bacon donuts. What are the toppings out there? We got sprinkles, we got glaze, we got premium top. I guess fillings would be.
Oh yeah, fillings are always good.
Donuts.
Yeah.
So.
Junior mint donut.
Why not? Why not?
That's from Lee, who's watching to see if he should switch from Sketch. I would say try it out. Try out all the applications. XD's free. Download it. Try it out. See if you like it. We have a lot of things coming up in the future that you might like. States, co-editing, versioning, blend modes. What else have we confirmed? Other things, probably. Yeah, try it out. What are your favorite things about XD, Jack?
I like how easy it is to get going, and I really appreciate that, like, the intent with this is to design we're going to make an app at the end of this. And so it's designed in a way that, like, everything that you do in here has the developer in mind at the end. So, like, I can export this, share for developer, and hand this off, and there's no, like, surprise at the end of it. You know what I mean? So it's good for it makes the handoff easier, and also just like the client review tools. It's just like before this, I mean, we didn't have anything. We were doing like designs and like I don't even know, Illustrator, you know, like doing animations and After Effects. Which is great, but you know, it doesn't take into consideration the limitations that might come into play when you actually have to develop.
That's true. I think, you know, the team spends a lot of time talking to designers and developers to make sure that handoff is as seamless as possible, and we're offering the tools that is necessary. Of course, there's improvements to come, and there's things that developers and designers would like, and at the end of the day, there's always going to be a designer who just pushes XD to its limits and then gives a developer something that's probably not possible to develop. But for the most part, we try our best to make that handoff process as seamless as possible.
Get rid of the down. I'm actually also gonna name these in here. What they're gonna eventually be. So this one here is gonna be a cake donut. Eventually. We'll say this one here is gonna be a raised donut. And we'll say this one here is gonna be a filled. Yeah, I like to keep things organized.
Yeah, I was gonna say, especially as you're thinking about animation, because you want to, you know, once you start making separate artboards for the various states of your design, you want to make sure those layers are named properly. Otherwise, you're going to get some weird fading going on instead of auto-animate and that sort of thing. Because XD does look at layer names, also groups as well, to make sure that it knows exactly what should be animated.
So this is going to be our toppings. Actually, we're going to say this one is specifically sprinkles.
And you're going to be hopping into Illustrator at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll show you guys. I've started doing some of my, started making some donuts just because, yeah, for the sake of time, I wanted to make sure I had everything sort of ready to go. Nice.
And your experience as a medical illustrator definitely helped with that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I started with illustration.
Of course, you probably never made donuts as a medical illustrator.
No, I have not. So here you can see my, let's hop in Illustrator now. Here you can see I've sort of started making some of these donuts that we're gonna eventually put into this app. And I've been playing with some, oh, are we doing chat?
We are doing chat and win.
Okay.
Yes. So we're gonna take a very quick break. When we come back, should we ask them what their favorite donut is?
Yeah, I mean there's no other option.
That's true.
That's the only choice.
All right, so throw that in the chat. We're gonna take a quick break and we will be back in just a second. And we're back.
Yay.
So throw in the chat what your favorite donut is. We've got chocolate and sprinkles,
Absolutely.
Nutella.
Nutella. Yeah, I have had a Nutella-filled donut. It was amazing.
I can do that, yeah. Boston cream.
Yes.
Death by chocolate.
Is that like a chocolate donut topped with like chocolate frosting?
I hope
like
so.
Chocolate?
That sounds good.
Caramel, maple. I know a lot of maple people. Maple fans.
We need an XD donut.
Yeah.
I don't know what that would be. But
Kind of like the Photoshop banana.
yeah.
Yeah,
There should
just
be
like-
a little Easter egg of a donut.
Yeah.
Forget dark mode. Let's put a donut mode in
Yeah, yeah.
there. Who needs dark mode anyway? Bacon and maple. I'm Canadian, so I have to say some sort of maple donut. Ahmed, which I think is his first time watching.
Very cool.
Congratulations, Ahmed. So someone from
Congrats.
Behance will get in touch with you. You won 100 free stickers from Sticker Mule. If you did not win, you can still go to stickermule.com/Adobe Live 19. You can get 10 stickers for $1. You can design all the donuts you possibly want, throw them on your laptop, and get hungry.
Yeah, and send me one, because I want a donut
Yes,
sticker.
please. Old fashioned, yeah. I like that
Oh
too.
yeah, that's a good option as well.
Chocolate and caramel. Chocolate glazed. I'm getting really hungry now.
So, I'm just gonna start putting in some options down here for our custom donuts.
Nice. And how many options are you thinking of adding down there? Because it looks like things might get a little bit squishy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to adjust these. I just wanted to get some in to show you what I was thinking. I'll probably do that. Bring that over. I have guides up in here. I mean, I use guides and I use the grid, but I like the simplicity of just having the guides on the screen. It just stays out of my way a little bit more. So you just can pull them down like this from the top, and it sort of tells you the distance from the top or from the bottom or from the sides. To make sure that I'm staying clear of the little, what is that thing?
Oh, the notch?
Yeah.
Lovely notch?
Yeah, for that. Yeah, just keeping everything sort of away from the edges.
Yeah. For those participating in the daily challenge, in about 56 minutes or so, we're going to be taking a look at some of those entries in Discord. So work on those. I believe today was responsive resize for designing a ticket booking experience, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So get those in Discord, and we'll be taking a look at those. And Gazem is asking, are these videos going to be available to watch later? Absolutely. So if you go to behance.net/live and you scroll down a little bit, you'll see archived videos. And you can see the challenge videos. You can see the stream this morning that was featured Photoshop and Illustrator, and then today's video as well.
Go with maybe one more over here. I'm excited to see the challenges because, yeah, I've been participating, so.
We should take a look at some of yours later, too.
Yeah, why not?
Because they've been super creative.
Let's go with, like, all pink. All pink sprinkles.
Pink is good.
Why not? And I want to bring this back over here. I want to make sure that you can see a little bit of that so that the user knows that they can drag to see more.
Makes sense.
I did the same thing up here. You can see the user knows that they can drag.
Yeah, the user experience is super crucial, something like this, because if you just have one in the middle and then you have two completely off the artboard, the user might not know that there's more over there.
Actually, I'm going to do this slightly different because I want to be able to use those as buttons at some point. So I'm going to separate out this. And we're going to name this group as well. Here. Maybe like add to box. Why not?
I love how organized you are.
It really does pay off in the end to be organized up front. Especially also too because I like to do a lot of motion prototyping with my wireframes. So, for example, if I wanted to pull this guy up here, I could go here, prototype mode, right? Oh, click on this drag. go here to this artboard, which is the open box. Hit drag, auto animate, and then, so yeah. So I've already got everything like grouped together, so I can just go right in prototype. Also, I can go into these later on and add like final art into those groups. Like even stuff like this back, for example, there's no art in that, but I have a group that's his back, so I can replace the content in there. So I can start to do some prototyping while I'm still wireframing.
Now, do you typically, once you finished wireframing, do you build on the wireframes, or do you create separate artboards for the high fidelity designs?
No, I mean, I usually save a separate file. Like I'll save like multiple versions. Like I'll save like these as wireframes, and then like I'll just work on top of that and save a new file.
Yep.
But yeah, I work right on top of, because it just saves you time rather than having to like no, I got to put all this stuff back in here, just like exactly where it was before.
Right.
It's like, I don't know.
And do you utilize components at all?
I do. I'm gonna utilize some components to make this pre-made donut carousel.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna use the repeat grid with the little donut with like the little card that has the information, and we're gonna pull that information using the Google Sheets plugin.
Sweet.
So, before we get too invested in all of this, though, I want to use responsive resize and do these iPad Pro screens for these here. And I never remember, in order to keep this shape, which options I need. So I need to go into the individual shapes in this group and lock some of these properties.
Sometimes you do. Sometimes XD will figure out exactly what your intent is.
Okay.
So I usually try it first, and then if XD doesn't really understand, then I'll hop into the manual constraints.
So, I'm gonna grab these, and I'm gonna go over here and put them here. And I'm going to just put these back sort of on either side of the screen. Center this, and then let's see what happens. Yeah, see.
Sometimes also if you hold down Shift, it'll also it'll constrain it too. Ooh.
Oh, there we go.
Fancy.
Perfect. Because I want these to be like really big, but I don't want anything else to really change on the screen. So, so that's gonna be sort of where we start on the iPad. We'll call it. Actually, I should probably name some of these too.
Corey is saying if you make that little tab more arrow-shaped, it might help prompt the user to drag up. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should make component now.
Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Let's make this box a component, and then we can. Well, let's edit it, and then we'll make it a component. So let's go here. Good point. Because those do kind of have the little points so the box stays closed, right? So let's make this box a component here, and then we'll place it here. Open screen.
Nice. And the great thing about components is that when you do get to the time where you want to add color to this or add actual donut designs, you just have to put them in one, and it'll just distribute throughout all of it.
Let's make our cake donut component. Are filled and erased. And then we'll just go back through here. No, I want to leave it like that. I want the box to be on top because I want that to go over everything else.
Oh, yeah. And it's nice that you're thinking about these things now.
You have to.
Because once you have, 40 artboards, let's say,
yeah.
Probably not that many, but a lot of artboards, it's difficult to change that in all of them.
Yeah, it is. And we named this. Sorry, I'm just doing some cleanup as I go here.
It's all part of the process. So while you're doing that, what kind of things do you do right now as a designer for it's Blackbird, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I do this. I make some apps, some websites. I'm also the illustrator and animator, so I do pretty much everything.
Nice.
Except for development. I'm not a developer at all. I know enough about it to know that I'm not very good at it.
But the big question is, has knowing a little bit about development helped in your design process?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Because you don't want to, like I've said before, you don't want to be making stuff that is just not realistic.
Yeah.
For your developer to make.
Totally. Yeah, we get that question a lot. Is do we need to know development skills in order to be a designer? And I mean, the short answer is probably no. But the long answer is, one, it wouldn't hurt, and two, it depends, right? You could be in a situation where you're at a very small company and maybe a little bit of development skill, maybe CSS, HTML is necessary. But like you said, knowing a little bit, knowing kind of what your developers are going to go through is definitely going to help you during that design process, knowing what they can and cannot, bring to life.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, like being able to make the decision to, like, is this something that I want to do? Is this something that's going to be a part of, like, the app itself, or is this maybe something that's too complicated and needs to be its own self-contained animation? Right. So, making those kinds of decisions as well.
Yeah. Corey says, or you can just marry a developer.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, MJ and Richard, and everyone else who's just joining us, welcome.
Up a bit.
So when you're at the wireframing phase, do you typically wireframe out all the possible artboards, or do you really focus on a few of them?
I mean, ideally, you'd want to sort of start to wireframe them all out. If this was like a full client project, you'd want the whole thing sort of figured out. But in this case, we're just focusing on a specific sort of user journey here. So in this case, I'm just going to focus on a few. Yeah.
Makes sense.
That's one feature that I want XD.
Which one?
Align to another object.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes, depending on the situation, if you select, like if all those text layers were in a group and you select the circle, then you can use the align tools and it'll know.
Yeah, it's mad at me. That's fine.
Sometimes it works.
Sometimes.
Depends on the situation, but I know exactly what you mean, yeah.
Yeah. So we've got our little base situation and here. So I'm gonna actually move on to this donut carousel so we can hopefully, I don't know how much time we have left, hopefully show the Google Sheets stuff.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna move on to that.
Yeah, the Google Sheets plugin, as you're gonna show later, is super cool.
Let's do donut carousel. Oh, I spelled that wrong.
Spelling during live streams is not easy.
So, here we're gonna have no price. We're gonna call this donut choices. Or donut, yeah, that's fine for now. Why not? And these would be like, we would have cake, donut, and then over here, oh my gosh, raised.
Hey, Juliana, welcome. And again, if anyone has questions for Jack about her design experience, even though it's only 3 months.
Or my experience as an illustrator, anything.
Which I think, I think it's really unique though. I think there could be a lot of questions in just the 3 months you've been a designer. Yeah. So throw them in the chat.
Yep. And I'm gonna make just cake, bold, because that's the option that we're on in this case.
Yep.
So, gonna go back in here. Well, no, actually, I don't want to edit that. I want to make a new component that is like a card with a donut. So, get on that.
The thought process of a designer.
Yeah. So you can just kind of see what's happening here.
We got someone who bought stickers already. I expect to see all the donuts.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep.
Want to round some of these corners. But yeah.
So you recently transitioned. So 3 months ago, you transitioned to a designer, right? Mm-hmm. And that was your first gig was at Blackbird. Mm-hmm. How'd you get into that? What made you make the switch from a medical illustrator to designer?
A designer. So I've always kind of had an interest in it, and I just really needed somebody to give me a chance, to take a chance at my skills. I knew that I had a unique background. Mm-hmm. I've always been kind of interested in design. My thesis in college was a game. I just realized that I wasn't satisfied being a production artist, and I wanted to do more. I wanted to be involved more with the, because you make a beautiful illustration, you have no control of the context that it lives in.
Right.
And so I wanted a little bit more of that. I wanted a little bit more of that world. I enjoy problem solving, and I see design as visual problem solving. You're trying to figure out solutions for clients visually, right? Like by, how you arrange the elements on the page and how they all interact together. So I really just wanted, the experience of being able to, I just see it as an extension of illustration and animation in my mind. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have worked with developers using React Native.
And how was that process?
Corey uses React Native.
Oh,
so,
there you go.
yeah. I also got into SVG animations, which is sort of how I transitioned pretty easily into XD, because I think they behave pretty similarly. And so that's my development experience, is sort of from SVG animation land.
That's pretty interesting. I don't hear a lot of people who really do a lot of work with SVG animations.
Yeah, so I started doing that. I started exporting them from Illustrator, and then from there, editing them, the CSS.
Interesting. And Lee is asking, what is the biggest challenge in moving to web and UI from illustration and animation?
I don't know. I don't know that there is none. It's not, like I said, it's just do it. Just do it. That's what I tell everybody, is it's not like, it's the same as, you weren't like a great illustrator overnight. Like, it took a lot of practice. So I just started making little things, just making things and just playing with the program and seeing what I could do and what I could learn, and getting slowly better and better and better at it, and just like looking at what other people were doing, and just, you just have to stop talking about it and just do it,
Yeah,
that's really all it takes. It's hard, I think, for me to hold back from the illustrating part of it and just focus on the UI. Sometimes I have to try and stop myself from making my designs, you know, like, oh, I can just, you know, yeah.
Corey just linked your SVG, and I'm gonna check these out.
But yeah, you have to limit yourself, I think, on the illustration side to make really good UI and UX experiences. And that sometimes is hard.
So these are all SVG animations?
Yeah, most of them. And then you get down to like some of my earlier work. But all the ones that are kind of like playing on the page right now. There's my little dog. That's Sam. He's actually my dog. But yeah, you can see my donut factory down there in the bottom left.
So if you click on it, it does like frame by frame. Is that what's going on?
If you click on it, it'll take you to the page, and you'll just be able to see the single animation.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
Yeah, I just have them all playing at once because, yeah.
I think too many people are bombarding your website right now. We'll get back to these.
All right, so... Sorry guys, I'm just working away here. I'm gonna call this my donut card.
When you work, do you work from home or an office?
I work in an office.
Okay. Do you usually have music going on or podcasts?
Yeah,
or
always.
What helps you work?
I usually have Behance, like the Adobe Live, playing in the background because I like to like passively absorb that.
We did not pay her to say that.
No, that's absolutely true. I listen to the Behance, the live stream. You just pick up on like, you'll be like, oh, wait a second, and you'll go back and be like, that was interesting. I want to like listen to it again.
Yeah.
And because you know, people have different like cool tips on how to do stuff, and
Yeah, we get some really interesting designers on Behance, and sometimes I'll watch some of the streams of subjects I don't even know about, like in design, right? And I'll pick up on some tips and tricks. Okay, that sounds cool. I'm gonna try that out. Why not, right? There's so many cool things that people come to the table with.
All right, so we're gonna make a repeat grid now. So we're just gonna make a whole bunch of these little cards. No specific amount because I don't remember how many donuts I added. And then we also are gonna, and I have to remember how to do this. We're gonna use the Google Sheets plugin.
Yep.
So I'm gonna load a CSV. Do I have to ungroup this component first?
Possibly.
I don't remember. Let's just try it and see what happens.
I want to say most likely.
All right, so I made a little CSV in Google Sheets. I made a Google Sheet and I put in the name, the number, an artificial availability number to start, and the price of the donut, and also a description. So I can just easily pull this in here, and hopefully. Yeah, name, price. Let's go to price, availability, available. No, I have to ungroup it. Okay.
Yep.
Ungroup component. So, plugins.
Yeah, I think at the moment the Google Sheet, I know they're working on another version, but the Google Sheet plugin doesn't work well with groups.
Name.
But this time it should work.
There we go. So now I've got a whole list of donuts in here.
Corey's restarting the server. We broke your website.
Oh, thanks, Corey. But I can see that cinnamon sugar is a little bit long, so I'm gonna make this box a little bit bigger.
Yeah. And that's one of the really cool things about the Google Sheets plugin is that, you know, with the repeat grids, you can drag in bulk images, you can drag in text files and that sort of thing. But if you're working with somebody who handles data, or you pull data and copy and paste it on in a Google Sheet or a CSV file, you can just load that directly into the grid. And even if it has image URLs, those load in as well, which is super cool.
So now my donut, there we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that was like super fast to add all those cards in. I didn't have to like go in and do them by hand.
Yep. Are there any other plugins that you really like?
I've messed around with the Stark plugin
Stark is great.
checking the contrast of things. And then obviously the like lorem ipsum placeholder text. And Wikify, I saw this. Wikify? I don't really know what the right way to say that is. I saw it on a live stream on here, somebody used it, and I don't remember who it was, so I'm sorry if, sorry. But it pulls in like Wikipedia articles instead of just like lorem ipsum, which is kind of interesting.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a little bit more. I also pulled the data populator, although I haven't used it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, and the maps generator. We used it in the challenge.
That's always fun. Yeah.
Yeah. We used it in the I used it in the road trip randomizer challenge.
That was a good one.
Yeah. So there we go. I'm also gonna make the iPad version of this donut carousel as well.
And I guess the question for the chat, if you are an XD user and you use plugins, what is your favorite plugin?
Yeah. What's that?
There's one I've been using recently, which is, it was kind of fun. What was it? Oh yeah, the Undraw plugin's always fun too, especially if you need free illustrations. That's good.
Oh yeah, all of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's like the one that makes people's faces.
Oh, this person does not exist? Yeah.
Yeah, that one is cool too.
Yeah, Cornelian says UI faces, which now includes
Okay, there we go.
this person does not exist.
Okay.
That is creepy. I'm gonna go to this.
That one.
This person does not exist.com.
It is a little creepy, a little unsettling that like it just can make they're very
It's very strange.
Yeah.
If you want to hop over to my screen for a second, this person here, as the URL implies, does not exist. It was created by artificial intelligence. I think it was NVIDIA possibly that originally created this. Super creepy stuff. This person also does not exist. If you just keep refreshing, it's essentially just creating people that don't exist. I'm sure it's probably taking, bits and pieces of actual people, possibly. That sounds weird. But if I hop into XD now, and essentially, if you create a repeat grid, I'll just do something very simple. Just an ellipse. You might have a user profile, a list, like a contact list, and create a repeat grid, and just pull this down, just add a bunch of them, right? And then if you go to UI faces over here to the left in your plugins panel, boop, I'm gonna select the element I want to populate, and then over here there's a bunch of sources. Of course you can use Unsplash, IMDb, but if you really wanna make sure that you don't have any copyright issues, you can use this person does not exist, and when you apply it, it's gonna load in people that don't exist. And there we go, all of these people. I guess I can't, can I call them people?
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know what the ethics are on this sort of thing. But yeah, these are not actual people. These are completely, as far as I'm aware, and the algorithm looks like it's getting better, because the first versions, like the teeth were weird.
Like Uncanny Valley?
Yeah, this is strange. Apparently these are not real people. This creeps me out. Yeah. We live in a weird world.
Indeed. There we go.
Yeah, Jason confirms it was NVIDIA. And I believe they also created an algorithm not too long ago that essentially you're able to just draw squiggles and it creates scenery. So if you draw like a squiggle with a waterfall brush, it creates an actual waterfall.
Oh,
and by the time you're finished drawing like squiggles and shapes for mountains, it looks like an actual picture, which is really weird.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to play with that. Does it matter? Like, you can just like, what if you draw a sideways waterfall?
I don't know. That's a
What
good
happens?
question. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to find that out. Yeah, this is it here. I'm gonna put Paco to work. Hop over to my screen one more time. Here we go. So essentially,
Whoa. Oh my
they've
gosh,
created
those-
this algorithm that you draw
crazy.
literally like this squiggle and this and whatever this is. Looks like my daughter probably drew this. And then it converts it into, this is not a real place. This is so weird. And there's a whole video that shows the process and shows different examples, but yeah, very strange. This whole live stream could be artificially created.
Yeah, maybe we're not even real.
No.
It's crazy that like it handled it so well. Like the like that was just like Microsoft Paint.
Yeah, it basically looked like it. It's really weird. Now we need an artificial donut creator.
I mean, we're working on it. We're getting there.
Yeah,
These are artificial until you get to the.
that's true. Then they look nothing like what you ordered. So which screens are you working on now?
This is like so we've got the carousel where you pick the type of donut. This would be if you clicked on old fashioned, for example, it would pull up a little bit more information about the actual donuts. We're gonna use Google Sheets again and pull the description in.
Nice. This donut does not exist.com. Quick, someone create that. So when you're in whatever phase you're in, whether it's wireframing or high fidelity, what's your process on organizing artboards? Do you just lay things out horizontal, and then after, and then addition to that, what would you like to see XD do differently to help you organize your artboard?
So I wanted to keep these kind of side by side so you could see like here's my mobile version and here's the tablet version, so you can kind of see my thoughts on like the design and how they look differently on with the different screens. But yeah, I like to sort of go like, it depends. I like to keep the animations either like horizontally, so like this is happening along this path,
right?
This is happening along this path, down, and then like vertically show like, this is the home screen, this is the the donut carousel screen, whatever. But it gets pretty chaotic, especially when you have like a lot of animations going on, which again, like States could help with that.
States
Cut down on the number of artboards I have to make
States
things
will,
happen.
I can attest that in my limited experience testing States, it will definitely save a lot of artboards. But in addition to that, I know other applications have various ways of organizing artboards.
Yeah,
is there any that stand out that you'd like to see in XD?
Absolutely love to see the ability to like group artboards together the same way you'd group elements together on an individual artboard.
Okay.
So I would be able to have like, okay, well here's all the screens that I need to make the like sprinkle cannon animation, like sprinkles come in.
Speaking of that, sorry to interrupt. There's a plugin called Confetti.
Yeah.
Have you used that?
I haven't used it, but I know of its existence.
That would be great for the sprinkle cannon.
Do you think we should try that instead?
We should try that.
We could try that
okay, go
instead.
ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, just the ability to like, okay, here's all of, or even just like, here's all of the home screen artboards all grouped together, so I can easily just like hide, because like right now you can see like the stack.
Right.
I mean, I've been trying to keep it pretty well organized and named, but it still gets like crazy.
Yep.
When you add all the animation, then like trying to move stuff around on the screen to like keep things out of your way. Yeah. So definitely like the ability to just like group inside of groups. Mm-hmm. More groups the better. More organized the better.
It's good to know.
But yeah, I would like to see. But yeah, then again, States, maybe I don't have to make so many artboards.
States will definitely help. I mean, you're definitely going to find yourself in some situations where you need more artboards. And the team is absolutely looking at various ways to better organize your documents.
Sorry, I just, I'm trying to fill this out so it looks a little bit more like all of the different, so it's not very centered right now. Like this would actually be more like
right
over here, and then you'd have all of the options going across.
Those are a lot of options.
I mean, yeah. It's like going to the ice cream shop, but
yeah.
like donuts.
Mm-hmm. They should have like, what's it called? You know Cold Stone?
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have something like that, but for donuts, where you just go down the
Absolutely.
line, or even like Chipotle, where you start with just a donut and then just add things.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's, have you heard of Duck Donuts?
No.
They do. You can order custom donuts, and you can pick your toppings, and it's like Chipotle style.
Interesting.
But, yeah, they don't have a very good online ordering system. So
Oh.
this was kind of based on a little bit maybe that. These seem off. Hold on. My spacing is off. I can tell.
So you have Jenny, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. When you say more freedom, what do you mean? Because we're absolutely, look, obviously XD is going to be improving. More features are coming, including states and co-editing and versioning and a lot of different things. But we're obviously, talking to designers all the time to see what they would want in XD, what's different, what needs to be changed, that sort of thing. So elaborate on that, and maybe we can give you some insights. Or maybe not, I don't know.
Don't mind me, I'm just gonna make a whole bunch of these.
So Justin, currently guides can be pulled from the left and the top. But I believe at some point, I'm not sure when, there will be, I believe, a shortcut possibly. So if you're zoomed close into an artboard.
Oh yeah, and you can't like see the top.
Right, yeah. I know they've been talking about different ways to add new guides very quickly.
Well, it would be like rulers or something.
Rulers are tricky.
Yeah.
Because rulers kind of encompass the entire canvas. So when you're on one artboard, it might be different. So the rulers have to dynamically adapt. So it's a tricky solution.
But even just some kind of like visual at the top and the side
Possibly,
of the screen,
yeah. Here's another dark mode question.
Oh,
MJ, go back in the stream almost like to the very beginning.
No.
Where we talked about dark. We're not going to talk about it
Shut
again.
it down.
But I did address
states,
dark mode.
Not before we need dark mode.
Yes.
Fact. Like
Yes.
Maybe an unpopular opinion, but
Nope, I agree.
turn your screen brightness down. You'll be fine. All right. So what do we have? Oh right, I'm gonna do Google Sheets on this too because I wrote up little descriptions. So let's go here in my little detail card. Plugins. File. Do that. Yep. Oh, it's gonna cut off my. That's okay. Oh, I should have done. You know what I should have done there? I should have done like a text box.
Oh, an area text, yeah. And you
Let's
can
do
convert
that.
an existing.
Oh, how do
just
you do
over
that?
to the right in the properties.
Okay.
That the longer square.
yeah, duh.
Right, yeah, that's the
Okay.
one. And that'll convert it. You can just
Got it.
drag it down all around.
What? Very cool.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
Fancy.
That's exactly what I needed. All right. Let's try that again.
MJ's gonna use sunglasses from now on.
What?
For
Oh yeah.
'cause,
See?
There's a solution.
Yeah. More states, guys.
Yep.
More people need to ask for states.
States are coming this year. If anyone is, again, participating in today's challenge,
Yeah, we're gonna
19
do that
minutes
soon.
and 35 seconds to get those challenge entries in. Hop into Discord. One of the mods will post a link to Discord, and we'll take a look at some of that stuff very shortly.
Smaller.
So Corey upgraded the servers.
Thanks, Corey.
Now we're going to break it all over again.
That's fine. Let's resize.
I love it.
Perfect.
So after you get through all the wireframes, what's the next step?
The next step, so we're gonna start to put some art and style this a bit here. Well, I don't know. Or we could do some prototyping. Either way. Like I showed with the donut box down there, we can start to do some of that. But I think we're gonna start to do some of the, oh, I forgot to do the screen. But yeah, we're gonna start to do some of the, putting some of the style in, I think.
Yeah.
I think
that's a good next step. And then tomorrow.
Tomorrow we'll just like make sprinkle cannons.
Yep, animate all of the things tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. So let me do this one, and this will be the last screen that I really like.
Okay.
Focus on doing, because this one is a little bit different. I'm gonna put these side by side and pull this. Whoop,
And Lee's asking, maybe when you're finished with this screen, can you zoom out so we can get a quick overview of the entire project?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We will do that, so you all can see.
So this screen is definitely different in terms of layout than the previous one. What went into the decision process of, whether to put the donut over to the left versus on top?
I just, I wanted to, use the screen real estate better. When you're on mobile, you have to, the long, narrow screens.
Yeah.
Fit everything that way, but you can't really fit it side by side. But I like, you get the bigger donut view here. You can, I think it's easier to read the text this way. Yeah, and then also just like thinking even bigger screens, like, desktop would, I think this would look nice also.
Right.
Side by side that way.
Yeah, you've got all that space, you might as well use it for something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You said it better than me.
Cornelian is asking about portfolio building in XD, how to build a UX case study. So if you're interested, I hosted, I don't remember, maybe a month or two ago, Josh Iwata. You can probably search it on the Creative Cloud YouTube channel or somewhere on Behance. And his stream completely focused on building a case study for Behance based on a project that he did previously. I think it was a website project. That was a good stream. If you want to learn how to use XD to build a case study and then upload it to Behance, I'd definitely recommend that one.
Oh gosh.
But I'll also turn that over to you, Jack, because you've been putting together a lot of case studies and Behance projects for the daily challenges.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, how I started, because I didn't know what I was doing when I started. I just looked at what other people had sort of done on Behance. Like I just browsed the UI and UX category on Behance and just saw like, oh, that's kind of cool, and like what kind of information people were putting in, and like, I feel somebody asked me this in the Discord a little while back, and I basically said, I try to think, here's a nice splashy image of what it looks like and like the main components. In this case, if we were making one for this, it would be like the custom donut screen, and then like a short description, and then like not a ton of screenshots, but just like a couple that show like the different screens. And I like them to be like the flat view, not manipulated in perspective, so that people can see what is happening.
Yeah,
on
you got to be
screens.
careful with that.
And then seeing the videos and the prototypes are really nice because then people can see, the videos are nice because sometimes the prototype doesn't always work very well, or like people might miss stuff that you have. Like if you include an interaction, somebody might miss it. So the videos show them like, oh, that's how that works. But yeah, I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, totally. And Sam just posted, that was fast, Sam, the link to Josh's case study. So head over there, not now, but after the stream maybe, if we have some time. It's about, I think it's another 2-hour stream, or 2-2-hour streams. So prepare yourself, but it's a really good one.
So yeah, so now we're gonna start to get into styling this. I've got some art made here already. I'm not sure about the sold out I'm not keen on any of these. So if anybody has any ideas for how I could like make this work, the ribbon, it makes things a little bit too big for me. Yeah, I don't know, and I don't know that these are really working. So, but so in order to make all of these different sort of toppings and stuff like that, I made a scatter brush in Illustrator using just these really basic shapes. So I can sort of replicate that here. I have a little shape of like a sprinkle shape. I go up here, make new brush, scatter brush, and just pick. I want all of these to be random because I want them just to look like they were scattered all over the donut.
Right.
And they can rotate in any direction. Scatter will make this maybe like 200 and negative 200. That just is the distance the objects fall from your line. And then the spacing is the spacing between individual little sprinkles, basically. So it can be 100 means that like it keeps 100% of the object distance between the two. Larger gives you more space. Smaller, they start to overlap. So that's a very quick sort of explanation of brushes. And then like maybe a little bit of size variation, but not much. And I choose tints. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not entirely sure about how the key color stuff works.
Okay, I was about to ask, what does tints mean?
But tints means that I can choose different colors. So we just made this new, and they'll show up in the stroke. So if I make a stroke here really quickly, just anything. Right now it's black. And I apply my little sprinkle brush. See, like look at that, so fast,
that was
super
fancy.
fast, right? I can change the color here of the stroke, and it will change the actual. That's not a very good color to pick. Let's go crazy. It'll change the actual color of all of the little sprinkles.
Nice.
I don't think there's a way to make like a rainbow to like use different colors in brushes, but you get pretty.
Does a gradient work?
It would make I believe it would make a let's try. I believe it makes a gradient of the colors though, like from. Oh, so it doesn't. No.
Okay.
No. The answer is no.
Fail.
Fail. Yeah.
Justin is asking, do you do illustrations by hand, non-digitally?
No. No. I have a Cintiq. I do all of my sketching through to final illustration digitally, just because from doing the illustration production art from that world, it just saves me time. My sketch is then already digital, and I can just go right into it. I don't have to like scan or draw over it. Like it's already there, and I can usually just like use that as a basis to start. But kind of like how I'm working in XD, I've got all of my wireframes, but they're also components and they're groups and they're named to make it so that I can like prototype my wireframes or like go back in and add my final components pretty easily.
Right.
Speaking of, let's save. I don't think we've saved in a while. Okay. But yeah, I like to work digitally just because, I mean, there's a million different ways to do it. Some people prefer to, and sometimes they'll sketch in Photoshop too.
Yep.
You know,
a lot of people
depends.
do that. Mm-hmm.
Depends on what the final output's going to be. But yeah, I really like start because I'm so used to this, you know, drawing. Now that it doesn't, it just seems natural to me. It's as natural to me as drawing on paper. But I mean, I started traditionally, obviously, as an artist. We all do.
Yep. Do whatever works.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know. Okay, so we're going to start to add some actual components to this. That's why I went in there. So, I've got some of these already made. I'm going to start with the shopping cart icon. And I'm also really, I keep my layers pretty well organized in here too and named everything. My little shopping cart is named checkout. My little back is named back, because it'll bring all of that into XD when I copy it in.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about working with or applications under the Creative Cloud ecosystem is that if you're in Illustrator and you're designing a vector icon, you just copy it, paste it in XD. All that vector information comes over. You can even take this entire Illustrator file and bring that whole thing into XD.
That's a good idea. I'm actually going to do that, so I don't have to.
You could try that, see if it works. Are you using blend modes at all in Illustrator?
No, I'm
okay,
not.
so everything should come over nicely.
Yes.
Until we have blend modes, which is soon. Some blend modes might get a little bit funky right now.
I also exported out all of these. The reason I have the donut set up this way, these are going to be for my donut-like carousel.
Yeah.
So I've exported all these as SVGs and in the order that they appear in my list, my my Google Sheet. And I'm just going to be able to pull those into the repeat grid.
Nice.
Ideally, and they should all apply. So I don't have to mess with that. So yeah, let's actually do that. Let's just copy this whole thing into XD, because why not? Save ourselves some time in here. Make a new artboard. Where are you? Nope. I'm gonna make a bigger one. Let's make a big. Well, that's fine. We'll go there. All right. So
and there they are.
my stuff here. I need to organize this a little bit. Hang on, guys. So we can see everything that I have going on here. We'll just move this over here and name this like illustrations or something. Or assets. That's better. And yeah, there's some pie charts in the top here. We'll get into that when we start to do some prototyping.
Yeah, you explained to me what those pie charts are going to be used for. Don't spoil
it
yet.
Not spoil it.
But it's really interesting. I think tomorrow, when Jack gets into the prototyping phase, I think she's got some interesting tips. Yeah.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be good times. Yeah, so it doesn't bring my brushes in, but I can convert them to outlines in here.
Oh, that's right.
And I can bring them in that way.
Yeah, if you expand it, I think it might work.
Yeah, so if I go here and say like object, expand appearance, or outline, or object path, outline stroke, it'll make these individual objects that I can bring in here. Boop. There they are.
Nice.
Yeah, so let's start to add some things, because I definitely want to prototype tomorrow.
That is a must.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start to add our little checkout button up here. And I drew these little, and you can tell me whether or not you are a fan of, I drew these little like shapes behind them just because I think it gives a little bit more visual interest than
I think it does.
And it also is very reminiscent of, to me, like retro donut shop vibe.
Yeah.
You know, like
I like it.
I don't know if it's better to just go through. Probably just better to go through each screen.
So there's a few things you can do. So one, you could select all the artboards and then paste it on all of them at once. Or if you were, this would be a little bit more difficult, but if you use components from the beginning.
I probably should have done that for the back button.
Yeah, but that's okay. Oh, so Lee is asking, bringing in that card icon, there isn't a click and replace with option. So that would probably be components. So if Jack did use a component from the very beginning in that little circle, if that circle was a component, then absolutely, she could have just dragged the cart onto, or turned the cart into a component and then dragged it on.
But see, you gotta like.
That's okay.
You gotta like keep track of all of this stuff when you're working. That's why it pays to be like very careful up front when you're doing your wireframes. Don't just like make sure you keep all that in mind.
Right, and designing live is a very different experience. You're not really thinking of all these things, so
yes, it is.
I forgive you.
Thank you. All right, so I think in this case, they're going to, well, no, I take that back. I have an account, a little like a user account icon up here, and I also have a back, and I think I'm going to use the back for when I'm in the custom donut maker to go back to the main carousel, and I'll use the like little account icon on the side over here for when you're just in the donut carousel.
Great.
So that's what I'm gonna do.
We've got 4 minutes until design feedback.
Stress. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna show this because I think it's cooler. I'm gonna try and do the repeat grid, drag the little donut SVGs in because I think that would be fun. Oh gosh, what have I done? All right, so I want to go out.
So just as a pre-warning, if they're SVGs, they may. I don't know if it's on Mac too, but I know Windows has an issue with SVGs. But give it a shot.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you convert them into JPEGs, they'll work.
Yeah, I mean, I made them all in separate artboards, so it should be pretty easy to do that. So let's see if I select all of these and drag them on here. Oh, just put one in.
Yeah, SVGs. There's a weird limitation.
Don't worry, guys, we got this. I'm just gonna export these again. Go to File, Export for Screens. Right, and I'm gonna save these I'm just gonna save them directly to my desktop, so. And I'm gonna save them as JPEGs. Oh gosh, why are there so many options? What does this mean? I don't know what that is. Okay.
I think it's the quality percentage.
Oh, well, we want it to be higher.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Let's just go for it. I'm gonna have like a million things on my desktop now.
Oh well.
All right, so let's grab.
You're not a designer unless you have a million things on your desktop.
And let's drag them in. Let's see what happens.
Is it a component? It is a component. That's why.
Okay, so maybe that's what we're doing wrong.
Yeah, you'll have to ungroup that component.
Ungroup.
So try it now with the SVGs just to see if that was the problem.
Let's go back to my desktop. Oh gosh, it's all at the bottom. Donuts.
I'm just complicating things, aren't I?
It's all good. Okay. And just put the same one in
Okay, so yeah,
okay.
there is a limitation with SVGs. Okay, back to JPEG. This one will work.
Yeah, look at all that.
There we
go.
All the donuts.
Yes.
That just makes it look so much better.
Yeah. Yeah. I already feel like we've accomplished something.
Yep.
So I can do the same thing over here. Yes. Okay. There we go. Look at that.
Fancy.
Very cool. Old-fashioned. So yeah, like it's super fast to just go through and start to do some of this. I am gonna use for my custom donut maker. I'm going to use the vector file here, so we can do some fun stuff later.
Yep.
So I need all three. Oh, we're almost ready to look at everybody's stuff.
Yeah, about 38 seconds. And I agree, Philippa. I'm sorry. This does look delicious. I can't see, it's so small over there. Philippa.
Here. All right.
Nice.
So yeah, we're starting to lay everything in here.
All right. The time has come.
Okay.
So we are going to take a look at some design daily creative challenge submissions. If you're not familiar with the challenge, very quickly, behance.net/challenge/XD, and you'll find all the information. We pretty much run these all the time. They're basically in 2-week chunks. So Andrea Hawk has been running the challenge for the last 2 weeks, and every day tackles either a different feature or a different interaction or a different something. Sometimes we have challenges that build upon themselves, so there's always something different. And it really just teaches you the basics of XD and some advanced features like auto animate, repeat grids, responsive resize, that sort of thing. So I'm gonna hop into Discord. There we go. And I'm gonna go into the current challenge section, and we're gonna take a look at some challenges. So let me scroll down. All right. So this is from R3B3L Soul. Rebel Soul, maybe?
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah. This is
like
from
a license plate.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is from day number 6. So let's take a look at this.
Oh, I don't remember what the day 6 challenge was.
Day 6 was, this is 3, so cookie banner, possibly.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. But let's see. This is the prototype you can publish directly from XD.
Oh,
Search.
nice.
Okay. Ooh. Oh yeah, here's the cookie banner. Allow cookies. Sure. Why not?
And now we're back.
And that's it. All right.
Very cool.
What are your initial thoughts?
That animation there is sweet. I love animations.
Yeah, the animation's nice.
It's great. I think maybe for that box there, it's a little bit weird that it's right to the edges and also round. So maybe like bring it in a little bit more on the left and the right side.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
I would also say this gradient down at the bottom is a little bit strange. Going from white to blue. Usually with gradients, you want to be somewhat subtle. So I would either go from white to gray or this blue to a very slightly different blue, maybe lighter or dark, probably lighter at the top and darker at the bottom. And you kind of have that going on in the background. So I would do something similar because it's always weird when the gradient's too drastic. The gray for the search box, it's standing out just a little bit. I would say maybe tone down that gray so it's a little bit more white. But yeah, other than that, I think that's kind of, and maybe if I'm really nitpicking, I would say the text on top of these images, let me do that. The text on top of the black text is a little bit difficult to see in some situations, especially when you have an image that is just wild and has things going on all over it. So either, I would probably say had some sort of an overlay or a gradient from black at the bottom to transparent, and then change the text to white will help a lot.
Yeah, especially since you've already got the gradients and the rest.
Yeah.
And the other text is all white, so I think it would look nice.
Yeah, and as Lee said, definitely some legibility issues. All right, so
Cool.
next one, Rick, I don't know. I think I had trouble with this one the other day too. This is also day number 6. Here we go. All right, it's a nice design. Oops, I just ruined it.
Oh no.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay. So that kind of accomplished what you were saying for the previous one, where it's not right to the edges. It's kind of inset a little bit.
Yep.
All right. Is there
Very
any?
nice.
Oh, there's things down here.
Oh.
Nice.
It's always nice when people like go outside of the, ask of the challenge and like really like show a lot of different screens and stuff. Like
Yeah, and I love that about the challenges, because this challenge was just to design the cookie banner experience, which is this thing at the top. But this user, again, I can't pronounce this person's name or username, went above and beyond and added a bunch of different screens. I can't, I have to click it, okay. Fine. There we go. Which is super cool.
Yeah.
Looks great. I would, actually, never mind. Maybe just to give a little bit of variation, I would change the thumbnails and the titles for these so they're not all the same. But that's just a very minor thing. All right.
Nice job.
Yeah. This one is,
Oh, it'll be Hans project.
yeah, this is Design Resource Finder. Which challenge was that? I don't know. But we'll take a look at it anyway. All right. Initial thoughts.
I'm having trouble understanding the first screen, like what that tab is all about, because there's no other.
Oh, this one here?
No, like the top like shape, because I can see in the other one that it's a tab for like videos.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So I don't have any like context for that first. Oh, it's for the cookie one, because cookies is in the middle.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, just maybe some context to let me know what screen I'm on. Like I like the use of icons to like navigate, but I'm not. It's hard to understand where they're gonna take me.
Right.
I guess.
Yeah, I agree, and I think for this screen in particular, this content's quite small, especially on a mobile display. Definitely want to bring that up. So maybe if you don't want, I mean, you know, 4 might be a little bit hard to read, so maybe just 2 and have it scroll or slide or something like that.
Yeah, and you can also have an additional screen that takes you out to like more information, so you don't have to try and fit it all in those tiny little cards. Yeah.
Yeah, and Cornelian saying that the third screen has some vertical alignment issues too.
You guys in the chat are always so good at spotting the alignment stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a prototype.
Prototype. Oh, there we go. I would probably also say that the drop shadow on this button may not be necessary. I would go with maybe a solid color. Maybe bring in this orange for the background of this button and change the text to white. Drop shadows are always really tricky to work with. All right, you can scroll, which I don't know if it would be necessary on mobile. Everything should be kind of contained in one. But what can you click on? Oh. I'm not sure what you... Oh,
Might be like on a time and it's just cycling through the first 2 screens. Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else? No. Okay.
Very cool.
Let's see if there's any more.
Hi, Sarah. Sarah's one of my old coworkers.
Oh, nice. Hi, Sarah. This one's the same one, I think. This one is...
travel.
Oh, also day 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so small. Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Oh.
There's the cookie banner. Yeah, so this user went really above and beyond.
Yeah,
added a whole experience beforehand.
Very cool.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in here. We've got the calendar, we've got the little, like, on the side, list of, you know, events or whatever for the day. Oh, man.
The only thing I would probably mention is, and this could vary from website and service to service, but usually the cookie banner is displayed right at the beginning. So, I mean, maybe it doesn't make sense in this situation. Maybe she wanted to show some of what led up to it, but you know, usually you want to alert your users at the very beginning that their information is being tracked and yada, yada, yada. So that gives them the opportunity to opt out if they wanted to, or accept. But in this case, it looks like they've already completed some actions. And then it told them, oh, by the way, we're tracking your stuff, right? But other than that, pretty cool. Alrighty. This one looks fancy. Let's see.
File management. Except cookies.
Nice. I love the clean design.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always nice when you can get away with like less on the screen and just let the whole experience kind of guide your user.
Sweet. All right, we'll take a look at one more, and this one is from Shatin. And this is, I think, day 5. Yeah. So what was day 5 again?
I'm loving those illustrations.
Day 5 was, the futuristic teleportation app.
Yeah, these were cool.
Yeah.
This was cool. This was cool.
All right. Yeah, the design is really nice. It's very clean, great colors. There's the colors there. Fonts, Railway. Ooh, there's a video.
Oh, I've seen some of his work before this week's challenges. I've seen some of it. history, places you've been. Very nice with the rolling numbers.
Mm-hmm. All right, that was pretty cool. Little bit of feedback. What I would say is, from a presentation point of view, and I think you were talking about this earlier, the perspective and isometric, like you probably saw, I was just like tilting my head the whole time. It's very difficult to, for very quick things, depending on the situation, you might be able to get away with it. But if there's a lot going on, I would probably suggest just bringing it back.
Yeah.
And then from a user experience point of view, I noticed you're going into several screens and copying locations from most popular in history, and then you're going to the search experience. So if that's the case, if you're noticing you're doing the copying action quite a bit, I would bring some of that functionality into the search experience. So from within the search the screen, you'll be able to browse or filter by most popular, your places you've already been to. That way you're not going from one screen to another, back to another. But other than that, I mean...
What is happening?
I don't know, there's construction noises. But yeah, the design is really nice. I love the use of masks. Super cool.
Yeah, I mean, you could use this sort of isometric view. You could put like a screenshot sort of in like the cover image or something. So if you still wanted to show that kind of interesting perspective. But yeah, for the video, I would definitely consider, especially since you've put so many screens in.
Totally. All right, so that'll wrap it up. We will take a look at portfolios tomorrow, but we're gonna jump back over to your screen. We're gonna, we have about 13 minutes left.
All right. Try to get going through this.
Yeah, it's already starting to shape up a little bit.
So, I'm just gonna keep going, mostly filling in donuts, to be honest. And we'll fill in some of these buttons in the box.
Yep.
So.
And then tomorrow, a lot of prototyping.
Oh yeah,
That's gonna be fun.
Absolutely.
You do not want to miss it.
No. I see what you did
I tried. I've been sitting on that one.
Yeah?
Yeah, but it didn't come out very well. Oh, Sam just joined. Guess you've missed quite a bit, but you can go back and rewatch it. You can rewind it right now if you want to, or once this is over, if you go to behance.net/live, you'll be able to watch the entire thing. There's some good stuff in this one.
Actually, we want the cake donut in the middle for this one. We're gonna grab these donuts.
Jermaine is asking, how do we share prototypes with you? So Jack will definitely be getting into some of that stuff tomorrow, but if you're asking how do you share on Behance or Discord, there's two ways you can do it. So if you're on the Mac, you can record a video directly from Adobe XD. If you're on Windows, you can use Game Bar to record the prototype screen. Or what you can also do is under the share menu at the top right, you can actually publish it for review, and what that will do is it will publish all of your linked artboards, and then a user or you will be able to dive into that link right down at the bottom and interact with that prototype just like you can with XD, and you'll see a lot of that stuff tomorrow.
Yep, we'll get into that. No, what? Why am I in this? There we go. Nope, I don't want to do it. Okay. So many things to keep track of. Okay. Donut highlights.
We really need to order some donuts tomorrow.
Let's do it.
Yeah. While you design, I'll just be sitting here eating donuts.
Oh, that's not fair. All right, for the time being, I'm gonna put these both so I can manipulate these better. Ungroup. Group. Group. Okay.
Corey said we should wear a donut hat.
I don't have one. I don't have a donut hat.
We should go find one tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's San Francisco. I'm sure I could find one.
Oh, yeah. And this is your first time in San Francisco.
It is. I've never been to California. I've never been out here before, so.
How do you like it so far?
It's been fun.
Yeah.
I've been just like mostly just walking around and like taking it all in, to be honest. It's yeah. It's been fun.
Yeah. Have you gone anywhere interesting?
We went to the everybody's gonna laugh at me because I can't pronounce it. The Embarcadero.
I have no idea.
No? The little it runs along the bay.
Okay.
Embarcadero.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, and the ferry building over there.
It's funny because I come to San Francisco a lot. I'm from I'm living in Los Angeles right now, but whenever I come here, I'm just hotel, office. So I've been to the wharf at some point for dinner.
We haven't made it that far down.
Yeah, but that's it. I really don't venture out of my hotel because I just want to sleep.
That's fair.
Yeah. Corey says double fine.
Yeah, we got invited to go check out the Double Fine offices.
Nice.
That was fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of tech companies, a lot of interesting places around here.
How we doing on time?
We've got about 8 sort of minutes left.
Anybody have any remaining questions for me?
Yeah, if anyone has questions, definitely throw them in there before we wrap things up. Someone did, I forget who it was somewhere up there, pointed out that some of the donuts, and this is probably because you exported it as a JPEG.
Yeah, they don't have the...
They don't have the hole in the
middle? Yeah,
middle?
well, I'll go back, so tonight I'll probably go back and just you won't see any real visual changes to this, but I'll clean up some of that,
yeah.
This... Because you can't have that. You gotta see the little box there.
Right, yeah, of course.
I'll clean up some of that kind of visual sort of stuff here so that we can get into... We don't have to worry about any of that tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, and if anyone has name suggestions for the app.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Give me your name ideas.
Mm-hmm. So what are you thinking in terms of color for things like the box at the bottom and the card backgrounds?
So I've been using this kind of blue color here. I'm thinking that for the drag up part of it, because that would be the printed side of the box.
Right.
And then the inside of the box is just kind of normally a paper or a cardboard brown color.
Yep.
So that's sort of what I'm thinking for the box. And then these little spots where you can put when your donuts pop in. As you go along there.
SVF for life. PNGs can come too. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I might need some of this for animating, which is why I'm just decreasing the opacity and not getting rid of them.
Right. Oh, I like that suggestion from Lee. Untitled Donut app.
Is that the Untitled Cruise game?
Yes.
Yes. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to play that game.
I've been wanting to, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet. I've heard good things.
Yeah, it looks hilarious. It looks like my kind of humor.
Yeah. What a concept, though. Someone came up with the concept of just, you are a goose.
Yeah, I love it.
Your goal is to bother humans.
It's great.
Yeah.
So I just want to grab just my box.
Jermaine just tuned in 30 minutes ago. When do you all go live tomorrow? So we start going live at 9 o'clock Pacific time with the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge. And then half an hour after that at 9:30, there's Photoshop and sometimes Illustrator stream, longer stream, 2 hours. And then we have the XD Daily Creative Challenge, and then the XD UI and UX stream, which is what we're in right now. So from about 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock, just jam-packed with stuff. And of course, you can watch all of that. You can re-watch all of it later on.
I'm gonna make, actually, yeah. I think I made this one a component.
Yeah, so if you edit the master and just paste that in, it should
right.
replace it.
Component. Oh, why is it that one? I'm not gonna question it. Oh no.
So what you want to do is select one of the elements inside of it first.
Edit master. Am I already editing it?
Yep.
Okay, I am. Okay, so let's just select like this.
Yep, and paste.
There we go, look at that.
Fancy.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah. And I think that's kind of what Lee was talking about earlier. I think it was Lee, about the replacing. And that's one way to do it. So you can edit a master and just kind of bring the elements into that master and it'll propagate throughout all of them. The other way you can do it is, since that original box was a component, you could have turned the new box also into a component. And then from the assets panel, drag the new one onto the old one and it'll replace it. So there's no right way to do it, but you know, just all depends on personal preference.
Actually, I'm gonna copy that because I'm gonna copy it. Yeah, all right, let me make sure, I wanna make sure that the box is on top of everything in all of these layers. Because we want that to go over the top.
Right. Jim is asking, does this donut shop sell Long Johns?
No, not in this case. I mean, I thought about having like different shapes of donuts. I mean, because there's also like apple fritters and stuff. Those are also donuts.
Yeah.
That would be like, you know, in the future.
I originally thought when you said Long Johns, I thought like the underwear, those full piece. Yeah. I don't know why I thought that. But I suppose they could sell Long Johns with like a Long John donut design. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't think anyone would buy that, but you never know.
Learn from my mistakes and don't make your back button a component.
Right.
All right. How are we doing? We're almost there.
We have 2 minutes, probably a little bit less than 2 minutes.
Okay.
We've made it to the end.
So I feel like this is a lot of green, so maybe we should make some elements different colors.
Yeah.
This is feeling very green.
Yeah, and I think at the bottom, when the box slides up and it's over top of the donut.
Yeah, I see that. It's not looking so good.
Yeah, there's some contrast
All right,
issues.
so let's see. Let's, oh, you know what? I didn't add any colors from my color palette to my thing, so do that. How do you feel about this? I mean, I'm a fan of that one. So.
That's not bad, yeah.
I'll just go in here and add these colors so that I can pull it.
Final minute.
Oh no!
Crunch time.
Edit master component. All right, let's make this drag up here, like maybe like red or brown. Let's see.
Oh, the red's kind of nice. Although it does kind of clash with the donut still.
We'll stick with that for now,
Yeah.
and we'll see how we feel about it later. So, but yeah, we've got a lot of this in here already.
Yeah, and of
these
course
different
tonight you'll
screens.
probably, you know, tweak things a little bit. Come back tomorrow and animate everything.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do. That's the focus tomorrow. Is just all animation because that's
Yeah.
I really want to get into that.
Yep, and sprinkle confettis.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, so that will just about wrap things up for today. I am hungry. I'm gonna get some donuts. We're gonna find some
too.
somewhere.
Yeah.
And we will be back tomorrow at 12 Pacific time for more donut goodness and prototyping. Where can people find you?
I'm on Behance, my website. I believe people have been like sprinkling, speaking of, in the chat, my website. I'm on Twitter and Instagram and all of that. Just Jack Watson 05 is my usual handle.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
You can find me.
Cool. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Thank you.